So this is a vlog. I don't know if I'm gonna share it, but I just wanted to come and kind of talk real quick about some of the thoughts that I've been having while I've been reading Tobit. And I've been rereading the book of Tobit now for the past, I think this makes the second day. And excuse me. And I don't know, like, something that I've recognized, a few things that have come to my attention since I've been reading the book. Okay, so there was a young lady who, according to the law, she had been married 7 times. Or had been given in marriage 7 times. But every time it was time for them to pretty much, every time it was time for the marriage to be consummated, the men always died. Right? And so, you know, it was no fault of the lady's own. It was a spiritual attack against her and against other people. But, of course, people who think carnally, you know, they don't know the difference and they don't care. And so a lot of her father's servants used to make fun of her, and they used to talk about her really bad, about the rumors surrounding her situation, because obviously nobody really knew why the men died every time they went in to be with her. Nobody could really explain that, you know. But the girls talked about this young lady so bad to the point that it made her wish that she could die. But then she thought about it because she was her parents' only child. And then in the book of Tobit, you have another child who is the only child of their parents. And, you know, he's reaching an age where he's going to have to begin to consider taking a wife and beginning his own family. Because his parents are up in age, and also his father goes through something as well. His father was a good man, but he still wound up, you know, something wound up happening to him where it caused him to pretty much be blind for, I think it was a period of 7 years, 7 or 8 years. I'm not sure. I would have to actually look at it again. But the point I'm trying to make in this is that there were 3 people who needed to be taken care of in this particular account of Tobit. And, you know, that young lady's situation looked like it was horrible. You know, it seemed like she kept getting given in marriage, and it just never worked out because every guy was killed or every guy died somehow. It was bad, you know. And once people paid attention to that, some people talked about this young lady. So her situation looked horrible. It shook her to her core, you know, that it seemed like this bad thing just kept happening to her over and over and over again. But there was a purpose really the entire time. There was a purpose. And the purpose was eventually revealed when Tobias, Tobit's son, had to go to this young lady's parents to ask for money that his father had given his kinsman years before. But long story short, everything that needed to be healed, everything that needed to be repaired in this situation was everything. And within this one thing, multiple things were taken care of. The man got himself a wife. He was also able to secure the money for his father. Also, he was able to, while he was on this journey and the angel was guiding him and with him, he was able to get something that was going to heal everybody who needed healing and save everyone who needed saving in their situation. The father who needed to be healed, his healing was wrapped up in this journey. And the young lady, in the scriptures, it shows us that the reason that all the men died before was because there was an evil spirit that loved her. And so every time her husband whoever it would be at that time, would come in to consummate the marriage, the demon would kill him. So, there was a demon attached to her that absolutely loved her and would not allow her to be with anyone else. But when God is ordaining something and when God is in control, he will provide all the necessities for victory and for restoration and healing in relationships. Whether it's just family members, whether it's a financial situation, whether or not it's a marital situation. When it's ordained of God, he's going to work everything out. And that's exactly what I keep getting from the book of Tobit, because that's what happened. That young man was able to go. He was able to be obedient to his father and get the money and get the money for his father. He also was able to secure a wife that the scriptures later tell us that they lived together until they died, So he was able to fulfill his life. She was able to, no longer have to be talked about because God delivered her and brought her another husband. And in bringing her a new husband, or that husband that was always for her, he was the one who was able to cast that demon away from her, where it could never get to her again. That's very powerful. That is very, very, very powerful. There may have been situations that have been allowed, but for whatever reason, they did not work out. If I'm going to base it off of Tobit, I'm going to say that it's because it wasn't supposed to. They weren't ordained of God for you. And so it didn't work. However, what I also see in that is, according to the law, she was free. Because once every man died, she was no longer under the law anymore, and she was free to remarry. So when God is ordaining something and when he's working in something, he's going to make it so that you're not going to be breaking his laws. You'll never find yourself in something that God has ordained where you're breaking any of his laws. That won't be him. So that's another thing that I saw. And when he's doing it, he's going to make sure that it's righteous, like through and through. From the beginning, middle, and end, it's going to be righteous. Even if it doesn't always appear this way to other people. That's what I got. So I'm going to be quiet now. I hope that it made sense and that I wasn't just kind of rambling or whatever. I hope that I was able to kind of make the points that I wanted to make. The points that I feel like I wanted to make was, one, when the Most High is doing something, he works not when he's doing something. The first point I wanted to make is situations that appear to be horrible for you, where it causes you to be talked about or mocked or rumors to be spread about you. God can use, he can use that, to set you up for something even better, something greater, something that was always for you. That's one thing. The next thing is that he will prepare everything that people need. Everybody that's involved who are in need of something, whether it's in need of healing or deliverance, he, in that situation, will make sure that can happen, because that's what happened in the book of Tobit. His father was able to get what he needed for healing of his eyes. The boy got a wife, and the lady got a husband where she never again had to cry because he died, where she never again had to be talked about because he died. And she didn't have to deal with that demon anymore either, because of this young man coming and being led of the Most High. So God literally will work out everything and heal people and you in the process. When he's finished, everything will be smooth. Everything will be great. So that's what I got.